I'm going to show you a hack, Grant. This is great.
What I need is a plan to stick to. And if you tell me do X amount of videos this often for this long, no matter what, I'll do it.
It's great to build a YouTube channel, but I want you to have a business.
How do I get people to the YouTube channel? Like, how do they know it even exists?
And there he is.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you, Grant?
I am good. Thank you.
I love it. So Grant's part of my Movement Makers program. As part of that, we do an IG Live together. So what do you got, Grant? How can I help, man?
Hey, so I'm a very successful realtor. And I have started having people ask me to coach them and help them and really spend some time in the lockdown thinking about what the next step is in my journey. Mm-hmm. And this year I decided I wanted to be a speaker, author, coach. So I'm writing a book. I've just got certified as a high performance coach with Brendan's group, which is how I found you, by the way.
Cool.
And just thinking about how do I launch a thought leader career. I fell in love with doing videos. I do listing videos that sell houses and really love being in front of the camera, it turns out. And Great. So I'm super pumped about building. I've got a, here in Denver, I have a Denver office and a Boulder office, but in this office, I've already built out a little, maybe it's 12 by 12 room for a studio. All right. I have gear purchased. I have no excuses. Just learning how to get it all set up. I have acoustic tiles on the walls. I have lighting on the way. You know, I'm doing the whole thing. And what I'm really hoping to do is put out video content to start to build, first of all, momentum for my book. I was a millionaire before I was 30. Then I was homeless for 6 years as a drug addict. So wow. I've been clean for 12 years now. So Congrats. I have a little bit of a journey to share with people, and really interested in helping people, like you mentioned in your book, help people who've been through the same thing. But the same thing in my case might mean somebody who's struggling to make it as a realtor. It might mean somebody who's been homeless. It might mean somebody who's a drug addict. All of those people are in my core group of people to help, whether they're realtors or entrepreneurs. I want to help them build a business the way that I was able to build a business, which was really focusing on the heart rather than the mind. So instead of top of mind, I'm all about top of heart, which is all about making real emotional connections with people. So I'm babbling, but the point of our time together here is I'm really excited to learn from you. I have a fear, and that fear is not to do video. My fear is that is mediocrity. My fear is that, I've had some friends start YouTube channels or put out videos, and I watch them put out, a video 5, 6, 7 times, and they go away and never do it again because it's terrible, because there's nobody looking, there's nobody watching. And I'm a high achiever, and I expect big things. And I'm afraid that I'm going to start putting out video nobody's going to watch, and I'm going to go away. So what I need is a plan to stick to. And if you tell me do X amount of videos this often for this long, no matter what, I'll do it. But that's what I need. I need some help with how to get started. Great.
And the target's going to be real estate or
no, anybody who's in sales or marketing. So really, which is, an entrepreneur or salespeople. I think that immediately I can impact realtors. If a realtor hears that I've done 50 million in real estate this year, they'll want to learn from me. So I have a really good soft, audience right away. And I have some people that kind of, I believe, will follow what I do there. But I don't want to limit it to this real estate.
Got it. So I would create a plan that I would execute for all of 2021. And you're not allowed to deviate from it until you get to 2022.
Yep.
And so judging like, is it working or not? Because YouTube especially takes the most time to build, but is the most long-term brand building that you can do. Because YouTube is the only place where your videos will live forever, right? So we'll post, this as an IG Live is great. We'll have some people watching. You see some people watching the replay, but in a year, nobody will care what happens on your Instagram. 5 days later, nobody cares what's happening on your Instagram.
Yeah.
But if you're a fan of Brendan's work, his black and white video series, 6 years later are still getting views, still getting attention, still getting interest. especially if the content you can talk about is evergreen and timeless. So if you're talking about sales principles as opposed to selling in December 2020.
Sure.
Right? So I want evergreen kind of content. And you can definitely dive into elements of your story. I think that's fantastic. 3 videos a week. You can film them all on one day. If you can get to daily, that's awesome. But if you're a high achiever, we need to be over one a week. 3 would be my kind of minimum in. You can film them all on one day if you want, for a couple weeks at a time. So you don't have to go into the studio or, 3 times a week. I want a talking head video. So you talking direct to camera, and you can pull ideas from whoever you think is your biggest kind of contemporary in the YouTube world. And it's probably a mix of people. There's no one person who's like you. So I'd pull topics from Brendan. I'd pull topics from my channel. I'd pull topics from in sales. I'd be looking at Grant Cardone. I'd be looking at Jordan Belfort. I'd be looking at Robert Kiyosaki. I'd be looking at like whoever are your bits of all these different people. Go to their channels, look at the most successful videos that they've ever done, and then make your version of it. And don't even care I don't care what they said. So if you go to Brendan's channel or Gary Vee's channel and it's, the advice every 20-year-old needs to hear, I want you to make that video without watching what their advice is. I don't care what Brendan's advice is. I want Grant's advice.
So focus on the topic.
Take the title and take the topic.
Okay.
A 10-minute plus video.
Damn it.
What?
It just sounds so long. It's okay. I'm just being honest.
You could do it because you've got knowledge to share.
Sure. Yeah. I babbled at you for 10 minutes already, so I'm in. Yeah.
Well, babble is different than 10 minutes, right?
Sure. Yeah.
So
yeah.
In the book, there's the structure of how to do a perfect thought leadership piece of content. I would hone in on that. I would guess you would be great at your storytelling. You could easily tell a 3, 4, 5-minute story or more. Your story, client story, somebody you've mentored, something you see happening with young real estate agents, salespeople, addicts. Like there's lots of stories you could tell. I think you'd be great at that. Sure. I think the practical advice piece, you'd probably be great at that too. So, okay, to solve this problem, do 1, 2, 3. Step 1, do this. And I'm sure you've just had enough experience. You can, even if you had a point form, you could talk to those points and be eloquent and tons of value. Where most people struggle is the opening. So you got to hit me with something that you believe that most people would find different or weird. So even as practice, like what's one thing you believe, Grant, that other people don't believe?
Lead generation is
great. So like that's the first thing out of your face when you press record.
Yeah.
The very first thing, right? So when I work with people, then they still press record and say, "Hey, it's welcome back. It's me, Grant." Like, no, Grant.
Yeah.
Right. So you press record and like the very first thing has to be a powerful opinion that like, what did he just say?
Yeah.
And so that takes some training to do, but I think most of the other stuff you'll be great at. So at least 1 video a week of the 3 that is thought leadership like that, direct to camera talking. I would love to see one of the 3 be a coaching video.
Okay.
Where there's somebody in front of you like this. This is a coaching video, right? But flipped. So now you're coaching somebody who is in your office, is part of your fan group, is an up-and-coming salesperson, is an addict, or is an addict recovery, or any of the topics that you deal with.
Okay.
And the great part about that is you just have to show up. There's no script. There's no memorizing anything. There's no what's my first sentence. It's you just coaching. Your preparation is the decades of experience you have in this business, helping people.
So my goal, let me interrupt you real quick. My goal is to build a bit of a membership site and do group coaching for certified high performance. So I think you've talked about this before. So you maybe take a snippet of somebody who's, maybe there's a Facebook, maybe we have a Zoom call once a month, and I do some one-on-one in front of everybody else for 15, 20 minutes, taking a piece of that and just putting that as YouTube content. With their permission, of course.
You could do that, or you could do this. Okay. Where you do it over something like Instagram Live to help build your Instagram audience up, or it could just be a separate Zoom that you do either for paying members. So, hey, as a bonus, you also get a one-on-one with Grant.
Okay.
Right.
And then sorry to interrupt you, but then do you take this and put it back into YouTube? Meaning, okay.
Because not all of the, like I have a daily show here. Not all of them get cut for YouTube. Some of them, if it's really good, it'll get cut. My team just decides on which one goes up. But yeah, so I go live daily on Instagram. And that helps the Instagram audience and also creates content for other potential platforms. I mean, this could get cut up into a million different ways for different platforms, depending on what comes out of it. Sure. But you could have it as a bonus. So, hey, here's my membership and it costs X per month. But if you sign up for the annual deal, you also get a one-on-one with Grant that can be turned into content, right? So you can use it to get people into your program. If you love it and you want to do more of it, then maybe you have enough members to back it up. If not, then you can do it for free. And people get to see you coaching so that if it's free, then it's public. If it's free, then it's going to be online. And some people may not want it to be public. So say, okay, great. Well, I've got a coaching package and I've got my membership program where you can train with me every 2 weeks. Sure. Right. So the free gives you the attention that then shows off you as a coach, because if you want to sell a membership program where you're going to be coaching people, I need to see you as a coach. Right. Not just a thought leader talking to the camera. I need to see you like get the bug eyes, like, oh my God, Grant, I can't believe what you just said. That saved my life. Right. Yeah. And it's fun. It's fun like talking to a person, not just a camera inside a 12 by 12 little studio. Right. Yeah. And then my third series would be something around the book. So how many chapters are in the book?
15, 16.
Yeah. So I would take that and turn those into 15 to 16 regular themes. Okay. That then you cycle through. So like what's chapter 1 in the book?
I don't know. I'm on chapter
or any
7.
chapter, whatever.
I'm on chapter 7 and I haven't thought. Like the one I'm writing right now is called Scraping the Bottom. So it's about hitting rock bottom and just kind of getting dragged along the bottom. Perfect. Instead of bouncing off it. Yeah. And what chapter number is that? 7.
7. Perfect. Yeah. So 7 is scraping the bottom. And so, every 15, 16 weeks, there's going to be another video about scraping the bottom. Got it. And then you just tell a different story, right? You've got lots of different stories that you can relate to, clients in the news cycle about scraping the bottom, because I want you creating content that relates to the book. Okay. And then inside those videos, you can say, hey, and this is also chapter 7 in my book, right? And it builds awareness for the book without it being a, hey, go buy my book kind of sales pitch every time. Got it. Inside, so those would be my 3 series that I would start with. That's awesome. Direct to camera, where you're pulling from the people who you kind of look up to and respect. Coaching with people who are in your community. And then a series around the book. Inside every video should be a call to action to get something free. First chapter of your book for free. Bonus video about the 8 sales techniques that can blow up your business. How I became a millionaire before 30, like whatever bonuses fit best, and you put it in the middle of the video, not at the beginning, not at the end, but in the middle of the video. That then leads people to a landing page, and then you get their email address. Because it's great to build a YouTube channel, but I want you to have a business that's successful on top of it, not just, your goal isn't to just be an influencer, right? Yeah, absolutely. So we need to get people off of YouTube onto our email list. And then when your book comes out, then you've got a list to be able to pitch people to. If you want to add a 4th series in, it would be interviews. Okay. Where you would try to get Grant Cardone and Jordan Belfort and Brendan Burchard and whoever on the channel, do interviews, and then you can run targeted ads against their channel to kind of hack their audience to get them to come on board. Even this, like you could take this interview, or this one-on-one, and turn it into a YouTube video, and then run it as a targeted ad against my audience. So then people who know me, they'll click on it because they know me, and then they'll say, who's this Grant guy? And they learn about you, and then dive down your channel. If you want to add a 4th series. That's cool. Then if you wanted to make more, then I would double down on one of those other series. I wouldn't double down on the book, but I would double down on either the coaching or the direct to camera.
Yeah.
If you want to go 2 a week on one of those, now we're talking 4 or 5 videos a week. Again, depends on how committed you are and how serious you want to take it, but at least 3 of those videos per week for all of 2021, and then evaluate how we're doing at the end of the year. Just like your mindset is, I'm doing this 3 videos a week for the entire year, not, I'm quitting in February.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah, that's exactly my fear. How do I get people to the YouTube channel? Like, how do they know it even exists, right? Because there are a gazillion YouTube channels. How does that?
Yeah, so starting point 1, we're picking good titles that are coming from other channels, right? So that video on Brendan's channel about advice I give to people in my 20s, for example, you may not ever have thought of that as a title, but you could make that video. Sure. You can come up with, so we're pulling good titles already. The ultimate hope is to show up as suggested against those people's channels. But step 1 is picking great topics that people care about, because a lot of times you might think, I'm going to make a video on lead generation. But instead of calling it, maybe using the words lead generation sucks on YouTube. Maybe it's how to get more sales, right? And so the content could be exactly the same.
Yeah.
But how you title it can make a world of difference for how that video performs.
That's huge.
2, do you have an email list?
No, nothing. 0.
Okay, so we got to start building an email list.
Yeah.
And anytime you come up with a new video or a series of videos, you email them the video so people can find it.
And I shouldn't say 0. I have 150 people who saw me on stage right before COVID and are really eager to do something with me. And I've done 0 with them. So Great. This is, it's time. Yeah.
Hey, the first 150 is the hardest. So you got 150.
Yeah.
You send them links to the videos as they come up. Even better if you can put them inside a playlist.
Okay. The link goes into a playlist?
Yeah, I'm going to show you a hack. I'm going to show you a hack, Grant. This is great. Let me show. I'm going to go to my computer. I'm going to show you this right now. This is what you're going to have to do when you put out all your videos. Okay, so we're going to go to Brendan's channel. So we've got the videos here, and say this one says generate energy in your life. Okay, like say this is your video.
Yeah.
Okay. When you load the video here, there's an ID up here. Okay, it's going to go youtube.com/watch !V equals, and then this is the ID of that video.
Okay.
Okay, that's the video ID. Why this is so important is we're going to go back to Brendan's channel. We're going to click uploads. We're going to click play all. And then this code we need to pull from your list. So up here, you only have to do this once. Once you get this code, we're going to take this. It says and list equals this giant thing.
Okay.
I'm going to copy that. Okay. Then we're going back to his video here. If I paste this at the end of this list, at the end of that link, I'm just going to paste it. What's going to happen is it still shows me the video, but now on the side, it's inside of a playlist.
Wow.
So what's going to happen is it says 284 videos. So you share this video, and then automatically it's going to run through 284 other videos from his channel.
Right.
And so if you only have 5 videos, it'll only show 5 videos, right? But as you keep adding to it, it's going to keep adding more and more and more and more videos in.
Wow.
Some people load the video and then just turn it off. Like, or they don't turn off the computer, but they go for lunch or something, and they come back. Like, I just ended up watching 30 of Grant's videos in the background.
Yeah.
Which all helps with the algorithm people find out about you, right?
Incredible.
Now you can also do this with any video on YouTube. So this is okay, let me find let's go Grant Cardone, another Grant. So if I go to Grant Cardone and we pull up this thing he did about real estate predictions. So this is the video. If you wanted to share this video, you could take Grant's video, put the same link at the end, and then it's going to put it inside Brendan's playlist.
Oh, wow.
So after Grant's video is done, we're going to watch 284 of Brendan Burchard videos.
Wow.
So for you, if you want to share my video or Gary Vee video or this inspirational video that you found that's not yours, you then add your code at the end of it. And when that video finishes, it'll just auto start playing all of your videos afterwards.
That's amazing.
You just need to get that link once. Like that link that I copied was Brendan's link, right? You got to get your link. Once you have your channel, we can set that up. And if you forget, I can help you again to do it. But yeah, it's like a quick little setup. And then you put that at the end of any video that you're going to share. If you're just sending it to one person, and look what I did. Actually, I just left my computer and the grant video is still playing, right? So amazing. I'm going to end up watching like 40 Brendan Burchard videos because I forgot that I left it open, which helps incredible. Again with the YouTube algorithm. If you're sending it to one person, it doesn't matter. Like, don't worry about adding the code if you just send it to your friend. But if you put it into a newsletter or on social media where multiple people could be looking at it, it all adds up for the watch time.
And then the other thing, so the thing about that I can imagine is, instead of hitting my audience over the head with another email about me, I can say, hey, check out this amazing video from Evan Carmichael, but they end up going through my videos after that anyway. Yeah. So that's awesome.
And the link leads them to that video.
Yeah.
So they don't have to click anything else. They're still watching that one video, but then at the end, all of a sudden they just get put into the playlist.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So every time you're sharing in a newsletter or publicly, you want to add your link. And then third thing quick is I would look at, if you really want to grow quickly, I would look at a targeted ad campaign.
Yep. Okay.
If you have a budget to spend against different people's audiences. So
on social or on YouTube?
YouTube.
Okay.
Suggested video. So video discovery. There's pre-roll and discovery. Pre-roll means it shows up before somebody else's video. You don't want that. Discovery means it'll show up down the side. And so I would look at different videos going to different people's audiences.
Okay.
So anything high performance, we're targeting Brendan's audience. Anything real estate, we're targeting Grant's audience. Anything sales, maybe we're targeting Jordan's audience or like whoever you think. And it's got to be a big player. But if they only have a small audience, it's not worth doing. Anything entrepreneurship, you could target my channel, my audience. And you don't need access to be able to do it. Like you could just target my audience right now with any video that you've got. You just want to be cognizant. If you did a real estate video to my audience, it may not be as good as Grant Cardone, right?
Sure.
And the little bonus on top of that is if you get an interview with them, you definitely target their audience with those videos. So you're consistently making content with good titles that attract attention. We're using that link. So anywhere we share it outside of YouTube, we're putting people into a playlist, and then we're running targeted ads for each video that goes up with the goal to gain views and subscribers. A lot of people, when they do ads, they just pump up their numbers, but it doesn't convert to subscribers. That's not what we want. Like you buying a whole bunch, you could buy 40,000 views from somebody in Argentina and, great, you got views, but it's not actually building your audience.
Okay.
So I'd be looking at USA first, but maybe Canada, UK, Australia are usually the other three markets after US. And then hyper-targeted for the video you're going after. Again, personal development, high performance Brendan, you just pick, or Tony Robbins, like those topics you pick. And you can just create different categories. Like addiction might be somebody else. I don't know who the leading addiction channel would be. So if you've got a budget, it's a faster way to hack the growth.
That's amazing. Cool. Because I wasn't sure where to put the video. So, and then do I take the same video from YouTube and also put it as a video blog on my website? And it all leads back to the same place, right?
You can. If you're going to put it on your website, don't do it as an embed.
Yeah.
Do it as this is an even bonus. So most people do it as an embedded link, right? So you can actually watch the video on your website. So you can click play and they're still on your website.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Okay.
YouTube heavily discounts embedded views. They count for almost nothing. They want you on YouTube.
Yeah.
So what you should do is have a thumbnail, like a big thumbnail, to say, hey, watch the video with the play button. And when they click it, it goes to YouTube. So they leave your site and they go in a new window and they go to YouTube. And even extra bonus on top of that is that link also has your playlist code at the end.
Yeah.
So then they're watching all of your videos after.
And if I'm any good, I can have faith that they're going to come back to my website to learn more. Because
you load it in a new tab.
Right. Yeah.
So they have to close that tab and then there's your website again.
Okay. Okay. So it's not like they've really left my site, because that's the fear, right?
Yeah.
Is that okay? Amazing. Thank you.
That's your 2021 plan.
Sweet. Thank you. I'm on it. I'm building it. I'll be,
cool.
I'll be on our call, and I'll report back.
I love it. All right, Grant, cheering you on, man.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Yep. Take care.
See ya.
Bye.
If you want to see another awesome one-on-one I did with an entrepreneur just like you, check out the video right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.